All right, everybody, we're here at the board game aisle in Walmart, and let's go ahead and let's see what we've got down here and what I would say you shouldn't absolutely buy. So the first thing that screams to me is this whole section right here. There are a lot of games, so I'm only going to talk about two of them in particular. Candyland and Chutes and Ladders. Now, both of these are race games with a slight bit of going backwards in them. But the problem is they're not actually good race games, which is why adults don't really like playing them. And the people who do like playing them are kids, and kids like them. But the problem is they can't play this anyway without adult help. So I look at this and go, why have a game that the adult's not going to enjoy? And the kid, if the adult doesn't explain everything to them, won't enjoy it either. Instead, get a game that the adult enjoys while helping the kid through it. And that game is actually down in the link in the description. It's called Downforce. It's a racing game where you play down a card and you move all of the cars on the field, and you want one of those to win, not all of them. And so it's got this great element of strategy for the adult, but it also is really fun for the kid because they get to see the cars of all the different colors moving in front. They get to use their powers. It's really cool. Whereas this is just silly. Don't buy this for your kids. Buy something better for your kids. Now, let's go ahead and look a little bit further. I'm looking at all of this, and I actually see a game I would recommend buying. But let's go. This is called the games I don't recommend you buy here at Walmart. So come on down with me, and let's see the game that I would say you should buy this instead of. It's the classic. It's the 50th anniversary. It's Uno. Uno is one of the most horrible, disgusting, perverse games I have ever seen. It is not fun for anybody in the way they actually want it to be. You see, everybody thinks, oh, it's so much fun because I like matching the things and getting my friends to draw four. It's just so much fun. It's so simple. No, this isn't the game you want. What you actually want is Spot It. You see, Spot It has the same matching component, and it has several different mini games in it that you can play, some of them giving your friends cards. So you're doing the same thing you're doing here. You're saying, here, take this card I don't want, ha ha ha. And you're doing this all by matching. You're matching things like, in this case, a sun on these two cards. And that's how you would be able to do the things that you need to do in the game. And the cool thing is, a lot of people would say, well, Uno, isn't it great for kids? Again, just like the earlier games, is it really? How many kids who would actually enjoy this type of game are gonna know what the number 5 or the color red is without the help of their parents all along the way? Whereas with this, a kid can match a sun with a sun. I honestly don't think even toddlers who can barely speak can point and say that's a sun and a sun. So honestly, get this game. It's more exciting to look at for the kid. Look at these pictures, so exciting. Get Spot It. It's an absolutely excellent game, and that's why I'm going to toss it right into our cart here. Now, I'm looking a little bit further. I'm seeing a lot of silly games. I will admit these games don't really exist outside of here, and I wouldn't recommend buying really any of these at all. The one game I specifically would say not to buy because there's a better game is Scrabble. You see, there's a better game on this shelf for Scrabble, and that game's right over here. Follow me. Boggle. Boggle is a significantly better version of Scrabble. A, everybody gets the same letters, so nobody's stuck with horrible Z's or Q's that they can't use. B, nobody has to wait 30 minutes for a turn to happen. This is a 3-minute game. It used to say it right on the box, the 3-minute word game. Every round is going to be 3 minutes. You're all doing it together. And this game is proven to be good for people who are aging to keep their minds engaged. And it's great for teaching kids to find words and connections and do good spelling. It's an absolutely fabulous game. And I'm going to toss that right into our recommended board games. Now, let's go on down and let's get back to what this video is all about. Games I don't recommend, like Yahtzee. I don't hate Yahtzee, but there's a game that is so much better down in the description. It's called King of Tokyo, and it does the exact same rolling as Yahtzee does, But instead of you getting boring numbers to write on a boring paper, you're getting punches and energy and health for your monster to fight for Tokyo. It's just significantly better. It's a game that's friendly to kids, unlike Yahtzee, which really doesn't work great for kids. It's a game that's fun for adults. We played it over Christmas, and my friend had so much fun playing it, even though he died twice. It was hysterical. It's a great, fabulous little game, and you definitely should pick that up. And don't buy Yahtzee. Not worth the money. But you know what is a game that's worth the money? Blokus here. Blokus is an absolutely excellent puzzle area control game. So Blokus' area control is in direct opposition with these weird scraggly pieces. I don't know if you can see them, but look how weird and scraggly they are. It makes the game really fun and exciting. But yet again, it's a game that I think a kid could play, but an adult can play and have so much more focus and strategy on it. It's just an absolutely excellent game. Definitely going straight into our cart for one that I would recommend buying. Now, let's go ahead and keep looking. And as you can see, another 1,000 Unos. I can't even look at it. It's horrible. I'm going to get as far away from that as I can get. And doing that has brought me to a game that makes me happy, and that is Codenames. Codenames is an absolutely excellent party game because one person is trying to get a team of other people to guess certain cards. For example, zoom on in here. We've got ourselves dog and turkey. You're trying to get them to say dog and turkey. So you say animal, but wait a second, you forgot something. There's a cat up here. So if your friends guess cat, that's not what you wanted them to guess. That's what Codenames is all about. It's an absolutely excellent game, 100% worth buying. That goes straight into here. But the party game that isn't worth buying is actually right next to it. This is controversial because this game is beloved by millions. It is Cards Against Humanity. Cards Against Humanity has a good skeleton, and that skeleton is you have to play down cards to match a certain word or phrase. But the problem is, A, it's inappropriate for children unless you sort out all the bad cards, which would take forever. B, it is a game that if you're stuck with bad cards, you lose. The end. So sad you played. Whereas there is a game down in the link in the description that can give you your fill of adult content, still be appropriate for children, and doesn't have the problem of getting stuck with a card that absolutely sucks every turn. And that game, my friends, is Dixit. Dixit is an awesome little game where you put down pictures to match a phrase made up by one of your friends. Your friend's phrase, however, is one that is not super specific. You see, they're not trying to get you to put down certain cards. They want you to put down cards that slightly match or don't match or barely match their word. They don't want you to put down good cards, which means if you have bad cards, maybe that will work to your advantage. The other bonus is because they're pictures that you're laying down and everybody's making up the clues, if you want to make the game adult, you can make the game adult. You can come up with really crazy, cringy things to say that people have to match. Or if you want to play with kids, you could say puppy and put down cards that remind you of puppies. It's great for either group of people, and that's why I would highly recommend don't get Cards Against Humanity. And also, don't get any of these other ones right here. They're pretty much all the exact same game with a slightly different package that's going to be fun to play about 3 times, and then you're going to get bored. Even Cards Against Humanity has that problem of the same cards. There's only this many cards. In Dixit, you make up the cards. You make up what everything's going to be, what the clues are. So every game's going to be different, every single one. Now let's go ahead and look a little bit more. I'm seeing quite a few games I wouldn't buy here, but let's go ahead down to a game I would buy, and that is Jenga. Jenga is actually an absolutely excellent little dexterity game. A dexterity game is where you're using your hands to do something, and that's the main point of the game. In this case, you're taking a block out and trying to make sure that the tower doesn't fall, then putting it back on top. It's just a great back and forth strategy game that you can put on your table and just play whenever you want to. Super simple, super elegant, absolutely worth the money. Not to mention these wood blocks just feel excellent. Now, when I'm looking around here, I'm also seeing and I almost forgot to put Jenga into the basket. How can I recommend the game without putting it in the basket? But I was so distracted by this monstrosity right here. Oh my Buddha, yuck. This is Sorry the Giant Edition. Sorry the regular edition is also horrible. You see, where do I even start with Sorry? Sorry is one of those games that is frustrating for the parents, frustrating for the kids, and basically feels endless after 2 turns. And the reason is this: you need enormous amounts of luck to do anything in Sorry. Then, after getting lucky or unlucky, somebody might land on you and send you all the way back home, which means the game gets longer for everybody, and that person's sad, and nothing good came of it. But there's a game that works just like Sorry. It's a race game. You're blocking each other. You're saying, "Take that, buddy." And it is Flamme Rouge. You are playing a bicyclist, and it's right down in the description, in the link. Go ahead and check this out. You move your bicyclists forward. Sounds kind of boring, but it's actually really fun because you are blocking the other people on this really narrow road. And it's very difficult to know when to go where, and whenever you stop somebody from moving forward, you're like, "Ha, I blocked you," but they don't go all the way back home. Everybody keeps moving forward towards the end. People don't just get stuck at the beginning. It's absolutely excellent, and best yet, there's basically 0 luck in the game. It's all about trying to figure out what your friends are going to do, or if you're just wanting to have fun, you just play down cards and move your bicyclists and have fun. It's everything Sorry wanted to be, but Sorry has to say, "Sorry, I didn't do that. I'm a horrible board game." All right, so let's go ahead and let's double check. I think we got all 5. I want to see if I might have a bonus round in me of game you shouldn't buy. Nah, I mean, granted, like I said, most of these games I wouldn't recommend buying, but those are probably the ones I'd highlight. And you're probably thinking, what about these games up here, some of these classics, and especially some of these board games like Catan and Ticket to Ride? We're actually going to have another video, so definitely click that subscribe button, hit that notification button, because in the future I'm going to be hitting up on these board games and letting you know which ones of these classics not to buy.